feel like I shouldn't be nervous right now because this is the shit that I do. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it makes sense because I haven't fucking done one of these in so damn long. It would make sense why I would be nervous. Give me 1 second. A young man is thirsty, needs some bev before he puts on his AKG headphones. First of all, after I take this sip of water. Merry Vantmas. Happy New Year. You know, I had to say that before I started this episode. I'm really glad that I bought this shirt, even though it's like absolutely oversized through the roof. It shrunk a little bit while in the washer, so like now it'll not necessarily fit. Hold on, you know how I am. If you watch, you know how I am. It doesn't necessarily fit, but it's got like a oversized fit to the point where I would never wear it as an actual t-shirt, but I would wear it if I genuinely like wanted to put it over a hoodie, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. And as well as I'm a little bit of a weirdo when it comes to these podcasts because I always like to have new clothes every single episode. Not necessarily new clothes to like flex, but I don't know. I just like to show off my clothes because I feel like it's a very important part of me because it's just the aspect of projecting yourself. However, welcome back to, I believe, episode 24 of the Brandon Alper Experience. It's been a while. It's been a very long time, and I'm kind of sad that it's taken me this long to set this all up and to just make another episode again. And I think that the most important thing for me to start off with is actually explaining why it's taken me so long. There's multiple reasons. But I would mostly say that it starts off with the lack of motivation. Because when I'm at college, I find any excuse to do as little work as possible in order to get the best grade as possible. I feel like that's just basic human nature. Like, you try to do something with as little oomph as possible in order to get the best result. And I've always applauded when people do stuff like that. They drop one song and then all of a sudden they're the biggest star on the face of the earth, aka Lil Pump, Mario Judah, and some other SoundCloud rappers that drop one song and then all of a sudden they're huge. Obviously those people don't really last for that long unless they really keep pushing and keep going, which is actually another reason which kind of wanted me to restart this. But I was on the FaceTime with one of my friends, Jeremy, and he said to me, he was like, I know you haven't made one of these in so long, but I really think that you need to because you don't want to fall off like Fetty Wap. Obviously, you were running on a little bit of clout or whatever you want to call it, and now it's kind of just, it's starting to die off, and you don't really want that to happen. You want to give people a reason to continue watching you. I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit so I can hear myself better. Everyone loves to hear themselves. Gonna get back to the topic that we were talking about. My head moves so fast, you know that. I'm gonna say this now. I am very glad that I'm filming an episode by myself because I feel as if I have 1000% content creation over this. Like, I'm allowed to steer this conversation in any way physically possible. If something pops in my head and I want to begin talking about it, then I'm going to talk about it. I don't have to rely on the other person or just bring up something that is just, random. And they're like, why would you ask that? Even though I'm pretty good at getting myself to the point that I want to ask, now I just don't even care at this point. Which is also another reason why I stopped doing these podcasts, is because I realized that for some reason, when I was growing up, my best feature about myself was I always was like the person who just did not care what another person thought about me. And that was what really rose my name to fame, because I would have the exact same conversation with somebody that I didn't know about whatsoever, or they could be like a complete criminal, and I would have the same conversation as I would with them as the person that I am the best friends on the face of the earth with. It's just like, whatever, I'm going to have a conversation with you, you create your own opinion of me, and then all of a sudden, if you have this, whatever the word would be, if you have this opinion on me, fuck you. If it's negative, thank you if it's positive. But like, I just did not care. But once I got to college, for some reason, I really started caring about what other people thought of me. And I think it was because while I'm at home, I've already established myself as a human being. So even if you haven't heard of me, even if you've never known me, you more than likely know somebody that knows me, or someone that knows me pretty damn well. So they could create not an excuse if I make like a weird behavior, a weird gesture, not weird, but just, out of the ordinary, which is things that I tend to do. People aren't that afraid because, you're in your hometown. So you feel more leeway to do the shit that you want to do because people truly know you here, and people are going to create excuses for you. You're just like, oh, that's just Brandon. But when you get to college, it's a ton of people that you don't really know that well. And what I've noticed is everyone is kind of going through that exact same period. So everyone's already established themselves in their town. A lot of people know who they are unless they don't know who they are, and that's not that big of a deal. But you have to almost create this new image for yourself. You have to basically prove yourself again. You have to give people a reason to like you. And I've noticed that I kind of don't like doing that. I hate having to prove myself, which is something that I need to change. I want to love to prove myself. I want to be like, yo, play me in this game of Madden for $20. Obviously, I'm not a gambler. I'm not going to do that, but that's just a perfect example of what it would be. And then I'm like, all right, fuck yeah, I'll do that because I'm confident in my capabilities. That's also what's kind of thrown me off, is because every single person, it just seems as if is going through that exact same thing, and it just seems as if they're starting to judge every single action to explain who you are, and it's almost like it's I'm thinking of the word fundamental, but it makes sense in my mind. So people try to create these the first impressions, and they rely so much on that without another person being able to say, oh, well, that's just Brandon. So recently what I've been doing to, I don't want to say make myself feel better, but I had this conversation like a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago, because I'd always had a certain trouble with like a certain issue in my life, which I want to get to that later in the episode. But basically what it was I was having trouble with girls. I'll just be honest. I was having a lot of trouble with girls, and I felt as if it was because of my outgoing, confident personality. And they ended up speaking to me, and they said, Brandon, I know you very well to the point where I know that is just you being you. You're a confident person. You like to not show off, but you like to, be yourself and be this outgoing person. But a lot of people can mistake that as arrogance. And when you mistake that as arrogance, you create this, I don't want to use the word judgmental, but you give people a reason to not want to come up to you because it almost seems threatening. That's the word. They told me that I almost have this threatening aura around myself, is like, well, I'm so, not happy-go-lucky, but I'm so positive when you speak to me. It's almost, you feel afraid to come up to me. And that's always stuck with me. Like, that's always been something that has stuck with me in the back of my head. And recently I started to overthink that a lot. And I'm really glad because I had this time. It was a New Year's Eve, went to a party. It was a really fun party. It was enjoyable. And I had this entire fallout with this really close group of my friends earlier this year, and I'm completely at fault for that. I became way too much of a judgmental person, as well as I just started to, judge every action of a person, and I tried to be like a psychology guru. That's not who the fuck I am. I'm Brandon. I'm not Jordan Peterson. I feel like I was trying so hard to just not create excuses, but understand people's actions rather than just being like, all right, that's Brandon. Or that's Jimmy, that's Alex, that's whoever it might be. But back to what I was saying, I ended up seeing, one of my friends, and who I was very close friends with, but we fell off. And a lot of the reason why we kind of fell off was because I became very sensitive. So any sort of thing that was, I don't want to necessarily say criticism, because I love criticism. I love constructive criticism. But certain things, I don't even know how to describe it, would just tick me off. And I would just become like hypersensitive. So I ended up creating something out of nothing, and I just took it way too far. I feel like I just never knew when to stop earlier this year. And I mean, there's definitely a ton of excuses that I could create for that. But I mean, I did it. It happened. Getting over that. Now we're trying to become better people. That's how life goes. But one thing that he told me was we had this entire conversation for about an hour and a half in his car. And it was one of the best conversations I ever had, because it was just straight constructive criticism. I had never felt as if anyone's genuinely said so much like things about me in a way of they care about me, and I actually put so much value into their words, because I could tell that they were being honest and they were speaking from the bottom of their heart, because they knew me so goddamn well. So when they were saying, oh, well, Brandon, you were extremely sensitive, you started caring so much, and then we started to get in the conversation on why that happened. And it was really cool, because the reason why he said why it all happened was the reason that I always created the excuse in my head on why it all happened. And he was like, dude, I understand. It happens to all guys when they get their heart broken, whatever, that kind of shit. So, it was just really nice, because he told me all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think exactly what it was, but I can't think from like the bottom of my head. Oh, he said exactly what I was saying earlier. You never used to care what another person thought about you. You would wear stupid clothes and you would just rock them because that was who you are. Other people can't wear them. It's like, for example, Tyler the Creator would look amazing in an outfit people would say Gunna looks terrible in, if that makes any sense. I personally think Gunna looks good in his outfits regardless, because I'm also a Gunna dick rider. But a lot of people say that Gunna looks terrible in a lot of the fits that he wears. I think he looks incredible in all of his fit checks. I put them all on my story, every single one that he posts. I'm going to get to the Gunna album later, actually. But yeah, exactly, the whole Tyler, the Creator thing. So after just hearing all of that, he was like, dude, you turn into a psychology guru and you just started caring so much about what other people thought. You got way too deep into your head. You just kept creating spirals and spirals and spirals rather than just sitting there relaxing and just you being you. But then we had this entire conversation as well about why it was so difficult to get out of that situation for me. And COVID. I mean, COVID just makes so much sense, because when I rely on a lot of human interaction in order to really project who I am based on another, to project who I am, to, create the satisfaction and love for attention that I have within myself, there's no way I'm going to get rid of that. I love attention. That's one thing that I just have to accept at this point. I'm literally have a camera in front of me with a microphone in front of me. I fucking love attention. But yeah, literally that. Completely forgot where I was going with that. I was on a good roll though for 13 minutes. But yeah, I mean, I am glad that I am where I am now, because after that conversation, I started to text a lot of friends that I hadn't talked to in a while. And then I ended up seeing friends that I haven't talked to in a while. And it was just very refreshing. It was something that I needed to happen. And then it was a wonderful night regardless, because, New Year's Eve, woo, New Year, new me, whether or not people think that shit's bullshit. I like the idea of creating a goal and then keep working at it. My New Year's resolution was consistency, actually. And I knew if I made it consistency, something would happen, and, there would always obviously be a little bit of a fall off, but as long as you could pick your feet up and then keep going, you would be completely fine. So I needed to find motivation in order to get myself to get to the point of where I wanted to be. So when I got back, I've gained like 7 pounds, 8 pounds since I got to college, but I've lost about 3 since I've gotten back, because I've been working my ass off. There's this one dude, his name's Fraser Wilson. He makes 20-minute long body weight exercise videos, and I've been doing those about every morning They're good as shit. He does this one thing that's forearm push-ups in it. Those are fucking killer. I can only do about 2 or 3, and about the 20 minutes of the video, I probably do about 14 of it, because the rest of it, I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking insane. I'm going to see if I can remember how it starts off, though. It starts off with close push-ups, and then it goes into plank ups, and then it goes into shoulder taps, and then other stuff after that. Don't ask me how I remember that. You know, actually, I feel like it makes sense of why I remember that. But other than that, the whole consistent factor. So when I was texting my dad, I was talking to other people around me, and back to what we were saying about this whole podcast shit. They were trying to tell me, or I wasn't trying to create an excuse for myself, but I was just saying I have not done a podcast in so long because I've just been so lazy. It's the actual getting yourself in order, getting yourself out there enough to just do it in the first place is like very difficult. Yeah. God, I keep fucking losing my drift, man. It's all good. This is the first episode I've ever done by myself. I'm probably not going to do any cuts, though. I kind of like the way that this is going right now. Actually, I want you guys to be able to see my entire face. I like this little setup, though. I think it's cute. I think it's adorable. That's what the fuck I was talking about. So the whole setup thing. I remember watching one of those YouTube videos when I was about 14 or 15 years old. And it was this guy saying that he loved to play guitar, but he was so damn lazy to pick up the guitar and actually start playing. He would just go sit down on his couch and watch TV all day rather than playing the guitar, which is what he actually wanted to do. So he said what he did, or what someone advised him to do, was get the guitar, move it away from the garage, and put it into the living room where you would sit down and watch TV, and just having it right in front of you, knowing that it's there, you being able to see it and not having to go 30 seconds out of your way, because that extra 30 seconds to go out of your way, I don't care what anyone fucking says, that shit is difficult and annoying, and not a lot of people want to do that. I mean, I have all my waters in my basement, not in my basement, but when you open up the basement door, all of my waters are right there. Sometimes the fridge is right there, and I know I have to open that door. I don't want to open that door. That is so damn much for me. And I'm about to say something really personal. I do not care. All my suite mates know this. All my roommates know this. Don't give a fuck. When I was in college, this just explains my laziness. I would open up the door. I would open it up, and the closest thing to me was the shower. So on the left, there's the shower. In the middle, there's 2 sinks. On the right, there is the stall, the bathroom. Sometimes I was so goddamn lazy to take about 7 or 8 extra steps. I would just pee in the shower, on the shower floor. And I cannot tell you the amount of times that someone has walked in while I was peeing in the shower, and someone was just like, Brandon, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I'm peeing in the shower. Why? I don't know. I don't feel like making those extra steps. So I completely understand that. So my idea was to create this podcast studio directly next to my room. Plus, I love this little scenery. I think this is cute. You can see this little thing. I meant to put up sticky tack right here because I got this Olivia Rodrigo poster. Because I finally got the Olivia Rodrigo vinyl I've been trying to get for about a month, 2 months. And, you know, actually that just spawns me into another conversation. Let's fucking go. So I've been trying to get this Olivia Rodrigo poster for about 2 months, 3 months. And I could have so easily just ordered it on Target.com, Amazon, whatever it was. But I really wanted the Target exclusive. And I could have ordered it online so many goddamn times, but I refused to order it online. I wanted to get it in person so bad. Paying that extra $7 for shipping was enough reason for me to not want to do it. But the satisfaction of you going somewhere, picking it up, paying for it in cash with your card, whatever it might be, and then actually going home with it is so much more satisfying than getting home and there being a box at your front doorstep and you're like, all right, well, I got to bring this in. And then there you go. No. Because it's when you have to when you have to work for that, and you have to drive that little extra 5-minute way to Target, you got to go out of your way in order to buy that shit, and then you finally get it, that feels good. That is definitely a very good factor. And I got it on New Year's Day too, because like I had that entire conversation with my friends and whatnot, well, with my friend, and then I finally went to Target. I didn't even check the Target app, because usually when you check the Target app, it'll tell you whether or not they have it in stock. Always says no. I didn't even check. I just went. I saw it. And I was like, I was so jolly. I was so happy. I was smiling my ass off when I was looking at the clerk, bro. I was like, I don't think you understand how happy I am to buy this right now. He said, oh, I'm happy for you. He clearly wasn't, sharing the energy, but I respect that. That's fine. You don't feel the same way about Olivia Rodrigo as I do, but that's besides the point. If you look like Olivia Rodrigo, please, please, please hit my line. I love women that look like you and women that look like that. Olivia Rodrigo, you are beautiful. You are my celebrity crush, along with Sydney Sweeney. And I feel like those are my two solid celebrity crushes. There are some beautiful women. I'm excited. Euphoria drops tomorrow. This is today actually, now that I think about it. It's past midnight. I'm excited for that. I really like the first season. Not going to spoil anything, but I love Zendaya. She's a really good actress. She started off on Shake It Up, obviously, or Shake It Off, whatever the fuck that episode or show was called. I'm starting to get like the purple letters in my eyes right now, because I remember it was like a purple logo with light bulbs inside the light. I don't know why I'm seeing that right now. That was a really cool design logo. But yeah, Shake It Up right there. So I don't know. They're cool. But back to what I was saying about Olivia Rodrigo. I've wanted to say this for a while, and I think I mentioned this in one of the podcasts that I filmed before. I think that Olivia Rodrigo is definitely complaining about way too much in her album. And if you hear this, I am just saying this for podcast sake. I'm completely on your side, Olivia. Go you. I'm so proud of you. And I really think that he did so much wrong, and you deserve to make that album. You deserve all the love that you got for it. On the other hand, though, yeah, I think that she just did a lot of complaining on that album, and it seemed as if she was kind of controlling. I'm not gonna lie, because Joshua can do whatever the fuck he wants after y'all break up. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. I don't care whether it's a day, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a whole month. I understand that she's just saying, oh, whatever she said. It's my favorite album of the year. Last year, obviously. Well, no. Whole Lotta Red a 2021 album or 2020? If Whole Lotta Red is considered 2021, I got that over Sour, but Sour's number 2, definitely. I don't know. I just feel like Olivia Rodrigo was doing so much because Joshua Bassett got with Sabrina 2 weeks after, bro. He doesn't like you. He's over you. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants. If you're not in a relationship anymore, I'm sorry. You can't control bro. Lil bro can do whatever the fuck he wants. You know what I mean? I've had that in my head for a while. You know what I mean? Other than that, I've been posting a lot on my Snapchat story. And I wonder, I really do think that is one of the reasons on why I haven't posted in so long, because I feel as if I almost treat my private story as in the podcast. So a lot of the thoughts that I would want to share on the podcast would just be thoughts that I would share on the private story. Like, for example, I have just been posting so goddamn much about Madden, and I'm not even mad about it. Why you mad then? You know what I mean? Like, why you mad then if I'm posting about Madden? Jeremy said that to me one time, and I actually started crying when he said that to me. What else? I've just been posting about that because that has been taking up so much of my time, and I'm not gonna lie, I am not even mad about that, because I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing about 4 or 5 hours of Madden a day. I am in the top 0% of players when it comes to Ultimate Team. So, and I just won a game off of a bomb with 1 second left. I threw the ball 85 yards to Terry McLaurin to win the game, and I was literally talking to the guy as it was happening because I threw a pick. The guy kicked the field goal to go up by 3 with 1 second left, and then I absolutely bombed him. I put it on my story. I just feel like Snapchat stories is something that you just share emotions with, share the shit that you're feeling, and a lot of the stuff that I've been involving myself with right now has been Madden. Music as well. I mean, I keep sharing my thoughts as well. Like, I talk about how I want to, obviously get back into creating podcasts, but I remember mentioning that I wanted to do, what's it called? I mentioned that I wanted to do not necessarily a movie review channel, but a movie review type section on maybe the podcast or just a music review as well, because I'm a big fan of music, I'm a big fan of movies, but recently I've just been so lazy to do that stuff, but I'm glad that I'm actually getting myself out there and doing it once again. And to quote Bobby, my ex-boss, love the guy to death, I remember him telling me, he said, if you continue waiting for the perfect moment to do something, you're never going to do it. And I've always hated entrepreneurship, guru bullshit. That's what I've always said. But I mean, a lot of the stuff that people tell you is true as long as you just put it into perspective and put it into play. So once I actually thought about that, I mean, I kind of agree. Like, whole conversation, I'm just going to keep spiraling back and into my life, whatever, fuck it. Back to what I was saying. When I was at the party on New Year's, there was this one girl that I was really close with, and, we were close with each other in about our sophomore year, junior year, and I hadn't talked to her in a while, but every single time I see her, I try to keep up with her, that kind of shit, whatnot, and I was like, yo, I have this really weird dream, vivid vision right now of me picking you up over my shoulder and just, like, carrying you around for about 5 or 10 seconds. Dirty Dancing type shit. And it was so nice to be able to do that, because when I got back to, like, being trivial and sporadic Brandon, I've noticed that has made me so much goddamn happier than trying to, like, be this, desired version of myself. So when I actually picked her up, I was not able to carry her. I probably took about 2 steps to the left, stumbling, and then dropped her, and then we ended up, like, dancing together. That was really cool. No, that was a very fun night. That was dope as fuck. That was funny as shit, and that is one thing that I'm never going to forget, and I'm very glad that I did that. I don't know, it's just when I do fucking stupid shit, people love that stuff. And if you don't, when you're doing that stuff just to make you happy, I don't know, I fucking love that. I think it's hilarious. So, fuck, I keep having thoughts that are running through my head while I'm speaking, but I keep forgetting to get to them. Trivial, what was I speaking about? Trivial, that was the word, and then other stuff. I cannot believe that I've just had a 29-minute conversation with myself. This is what I do on the daily. I'm not even gonna lie, I could probably film so many podcasts with myself if I just actually thought. But the one thing that is on my mind, I have actually I'm gonna read this out. I'm glad. I'm going to read this out because this is these are the notes that I wrote to myself. Some of them are kind of, I guess erased off, but I got a little whiteboard. I don't know how this got here because I didn't bring it home and I don't ever remember having a whiteboard, but whatever. I have quit surrounding yourself around and involving yourself with negativity. Number 2, no excuses. Stop making excuses and take accountability. Number 3 was work out, find out a way to get stronger. Actually, that's number 3. I'm going to try and remember that. Number 4, full body exercises. Number 5, limit cell phone use to positivity. You know how that fucking works. It's literally whatever the word is. It's social media. Podcast once a week. Read Diary of an Oxygen Thief. I really want to read that just because I feel like reading a book from the perspective of a narcissistic misogynist would be so fucking interesting from a, you know, not a psychological guru perspective, but, you know, from a psychological guru's perspective. I feel like that would be dope as shit. Just why are you doing the stuff that you're doing? And I read about 3 pages and I fucking loved it, but I just stopped reading it for some reason. I actually do want to just sit down and designate time to read it. I need to start doing that because I notice when I actually designate time to do something and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this at 12 o'clock. I end up actually doing it, or I don't do it whatsoever. But there was this one thing in the book that I read and it was so cool because he was like, oh, this hurt so bad because it was happening to me. You know, the seeing the hurt on another girl's face when you absolutely steal the oxygen out of her. Well, this happened to me, and the reason it was so bad was because it happened to me. And I was just looking at this page, and I'm just like, holy fucking shit, I am in for a ride. And this was the 3rd page, so I don't know, just reading stuff like that was really interesting to me. Time is money. I don't know what I mean by that, but I feel like I understand. I saw something that said time is money is a not, you know, there's an optimistic perspective and then a negative perspective. And they said that it was a negative perspective because it's a, I can't remember what the word is, but whatever. It was, I'm not even going to go into that. Take more pictures of one of them. I used to love taking pictures. I have pictures all over my wall, but I have not taken pictures in so long. And I'm actually really pissed that I haven't been doing that. Cannot read my handwriting. Stop getting in your head. Obviously, I'm a fucking idiot. Number 11, cannot read that. Number 12, love yourself. That's good. And then be your own man. Number 3, number 9. I'm gonna write that down to remember that. Give me 1 second. Because be your own man, I have a lot to talk about. So number 3, which is, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, number 3 and number 9. Dude, that's insane. Okay, number 3, work out, find a way to get stronger. I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I started to realize that I was seeing this version of myself that I remember, and I really wanted to get back to it, because when I was a junior, I worked out every single day with one of my closest friends, Alex, and I went over to his house every single day to lift, to work out, and we just became, you know, very close, but then we also had a little bit of falling out because of that. When you see someone every single day and you already butt heads over a little bit of shit, like obviously you're bound to disagree on some things, but like he's always someone that I can always rely on if I ever need anything, ever need to talk to, but I fucking love the dude to death. I was looking at pictures of myself from 2019 and I was like, oh my God, I look so happy because I just looked comfortable in my own skin. I remember getting big, getting strong, and it was so funny because I remember telling his dad, I said, I'm afraid to lift because I'm afraid that I'm going to get too big, I'm going to get too strong, I'm going to look so muscular. That's not going to fucking happen. That's not going to happen. That was the dumbest thing that I've ever told myself, but it was really funny, actually. I'm not going to lie. Because I saw his dad like a week ago. It was after the New Year's Eve. And I said that to him, and he said, yeah, that wasn't going to happen. And I was like, yep, that's something that you have to learn. I thought that was funny. But no, I was just looking at pictures of myself, and I was just very glad with where I was, and I wanted to get back to that point because, you know, when your arms look bigger, your face looks slimmer, your waist is slimmer, and you can eat anything the fuck you want, and you're not afraid that it's going to go to your gut because it's going to, I don't know if this is how it works, but, you know, it's going to turn into energy and go to your fucking muscles, whatever it is, protein. I don't know how that shit works. Everything was kind of written out for me. I don't remember all that kind of stuff, but now that I've been working out and, like, you know, doing my push-ups, doing this 20-minute fucking plank up, all that kind of stuff, I've been looking at myself and I've just been much more comfortable with myself. I'm looking at my face, you know, it looks slimmer. The one thing that I absolutely despise is I don't mind having a gut, but I absolutely hate gaining weight in my face. That is the most fucking despisable, hateful thing that could ever happen to me on the face of the earth, because like when you're looking at yourself and it just seems as if your face looks, I don't know, like bubbly or whatever the word is, it hurts me. I mean, obviously some people don't care, some people do care, whatever it is. I would never judge another person, but for me, that's what bothers me. I hate that I have to say that. That's fucking bullshit. that sucks. You know, I hate that you have to like, oh, well, if another person, no, bro, it's just fucking, I'm trying to explain my feelings. I hate that I have to involve other people at the same time, but whatever, that's 2022 for you. That's another fucking thing. I started to care so much about what other people thought about me that I started to worry about getting like canceled. This time, when you start worrying about getting canceled by suppressing thoughts and suppressing opinions in your head to be afraid of like what goes with the, you know, what you're supposed to think, that's when you truly aren't yourself. I mean, there are some things that that conversation has been had so many times. I don't even want to talk about it. But, like, you understand what I mean. I feel as if you do. I think a lot of people have that opinion. It's just, once again, a lot of people are afraid of expressing that because of that exact reason. But, yeah, that's why I wanted to get in shape, and I'm very glad with where I am. I had a little bit of a couple lazy days, but I got a VR set, and I got it, I want to say, you know, to help me work out, but that was not the reason. I wanted to get it to help me to work out, but also I fucking love VR. VR is cool as shit. So I got super hot. I was playing super hot. Dude, VR is absolutely fucking insane. It doesn't, my friend Kendall was asking me, he was like, is it, how HD is it? Is it like high clarity? And I was telling him, literally it does not matter. When you're playing VR, it doesn't matter how bad the actual clarity or definition of the image it actually is. As long as you are there and you have those controllers in your hand and you have whatever it is, you have a lightsaber, Beat Saber, you have a machete, an axe, and you're playing fucking super hot, or you're in VR chat, just absolutely chatting your ass off to other people. It doesn't matter how bad the definition is. It fucking is amazing. It's incredible, and I'm actually scared for the future of society, because if this is where we are and VR has only been around for a certain amount of time, I am fucking terrified about where it's actually going to end up. Because as funny as this sounds, I went to a Young Thug concert, and if you know who I am, I'm the biggest Young Thug fan on the face of this fucking planet. So Much Fun is my favorite album of all time. I've said that multiple times. I went to a Young Thug concert in the Metaverse, the Horizon venues, whatever it was called, and I was actually turning the hell up, and I was looking at Young Thug, and I was like, this is so fucking dumb. It's obviously just a recording of him performing, but that did not stop me, and I actually felt as if, okay, I don't want to say I felt as if I was there, but I was talking to other people. The closer that they were to me, the better I could hear their voice. I was turning up, moving my arms, jumping up and down and shit, dapping people up, fist bumping people, throwing thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. And it actually felt like really cool, because you know, you could feel a genuine connection, and that was what scared me, was because it was so immersive that you almost felt like a sort of connection to the other people. Not in like a true emotional way, but just that in general. I mean, I was fucking dancing and singing my ass off. I catch your bitch and I hit with a Trojan. White diamonds like a, I don't know what the lyrics are. Pussy up, try fuck with a kid. Like Scoliosis. I was turning the fuck up to that shit. That song is fire. But other than that, I mean, VR is really cool. The one thing that I noticed, I'll get to number 9, and then I think I'm going to stop it after this, because I think a 45-minute conversation by myself is pretty good for our first episode back. But what I noticed about VR was I was playing VR chat, and that was one of the coolest fucking things I've ever done on this earth, because that was when I noticed the closer you are to somebody, the more you can hear them. The farther away you are from somebody, the more you could hear them. But I played Among Us. And, you know, Among Us is a stupid little game on a phone screen, and, you know, you're the imposter, you try to kill somebody, blah, 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 whatever. Everyone knows what Among Us is. But I was playing first-person Among Us. I could see my hands, and I was actually doing tasks. I was running around the spaceship, and I was actually doing tasks. I could hear people. When we got sent to the emergency meeting, you saw the button, you could go up and you could press the button by hitting shit. It was so cool. Like, I was doing the little blasting task thing. I was filling up the gas. It was fucking incredible. And I was like, how is this technology possible? This is ridiculous. Like, this shouldn't exist. That camera does stop around 40 minutes. I'm going to go check on that. Give me 1 second. Yeah, VR is absolutely insane. I reset it 41 minutes. I'm just going to go for as long as I possibly can. It says 38%. I'm going to mention this now. I think I mentioned it earlier. I don't remember. But I don't have a tripod right now, so I have my camera sitting on top of a laundry basket, a Salvador Dali tarot card set, and then a Puma box. I mean, I think the shot looks pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie. I don't need it. The only thing that I'm pissed about was I left my tripod and my battery set in my dorm in UD. And, I mean, if I don't need it, I'm not going to need it because I feel like this is working pretty well. But I definitely am going to want that at some point because I know the battery's going to die and, you know, I want to go for however long I want to. But that's my little thing on VR. I've been trying to designate like a certain amount of time for each thing in my day, but Madden has just been absolutely taking it over for me. I'm going to say this now because I'm not done. I'm going to just keep fucking going. I'm going to say this now. I never judged. I was never a judger. I actually was a judger. But the one thing that I noticed was one of my suite mates was absolutely in love with video games. Zach, the guy that I did a podcast with. And I never judged him for as much video games that he played, but I remember wondering, I was like, we're 18, 19 years old. You still enjoy video games this much. And it wasn't as if I was judging him. It was just like, I stopped enjoying video games that much. And I really wish that, fuck, is that not going to pick up the audio? Damn, I'm going to have to patch that up. Sorry, I just realized that the cord is connected into the Rode mic, so it's going to pick up the audio from there, and it's not going to pick up from the camera, so it's going to be hard to mix it. Whatever, that doesn't matter. So I'm talking to Zach, and I'm just thinking, how are you still so much in love with video games? I never asked him that, but that was just always something that was in the back of my head. But then I realized that you have to find the certain video game for you. So, you know, he likes whatever games he likes. I've recognized that something about the game of Madden itself is the competitive nature. Ultimate Team is you consistently buying new players, you getting coins, and then you paying for upgrades on your team with better players, opening up sets, like clearing out your binder by selling coins, doing methods to make more coins, all that kind of shit. It's basically gambling. In all honesty, when you look at Madden Ultimate Team, it is 1,000% gambling when you open up packs. Now, obviously, there are certain coin-making methods like get a player packs, but you don't fucking care about that. That's besides the point. But when you pay for a bundle, you spend $100, that shit is straight up gambling because you're not guaranteed hella coins. You can make, I mean, if you spend $100, you're probably going to at least make 200K, but you're not promised $1 million. You're not promised 800K. 800K. That's funny. I hope someone understands that. Whoever listens to that. That was a very good joke. People aren't going to understand that. I'm going to have to explain that when I get older. Yeah, I'm definitely going to explain that when I get older. But yeah, no, I've realized that my game is Madden, and I am not mad about that at all. I fucking am in love with that video game. However, on to the next topic. Topic number 9. Be your own man. Oh, this might go for fucking 30 minutes. So what I noticed when I got to UD was I was myself for about a couple months. I was myself for about a couple months and a half, or however long it was. But then something happened, and I realized this euphoria, this euphoric mindset that I was pushing myself into. You know, oh my God, I'm finally away from home. I could really be who I am. I could really put myself out there. That kind of shut down because I got sent back to reality. And one thing that is the biggest send back to reality any man can ever experience, any woman can ever experience. I don't know about women, honestly, but I'm a man, so I could more than likely speak for most men on this earth, is rejection. And when you get rejected, when you want a girl and she doesn't want you back, and you are trying as hard as you can, you are being yourself, and it doesn't work, is one of the biggest fucking punches in the gut, punches in the chin you could possibly have on the face of this planet. So you know me, I'm a fucking flirter. I'm going to flirt my ass off with whoever I find attractive, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I ended up getting dubbed by this one girl that I was, you know, very attracted to, and I took it very personally because it was a situation where I really thought this girl was pretty. I thought that the personality was interesting, but then, you know, shit happened, and then boom, gone. And I kind of took it personal because I was like, did I do anything wrong? Was it me personally who did anything wrong? So there's so much shit that also comes from that, but I think the most important thing for me to touch on before I get into the actual be your own man part was I began to be the person that I thought girls would actually like. So I've always noticed that, you know, I've never wanted to necessarily be a player, to be a fuckboy, but I've always wanted the opportunity to, if I wanted a girl, I can have her. It is I want it, I can have it. If I don't want it, you got it. You want it, you can have it. So I've always thought that it was my personality that had torn me away from that, because, you know, when you're an outgoing person, you, once again, to speak on what we talked about earlier, arrogance, and then you can feel threatening, and then people automatically think you're weird. And what my assumption was that, like, people automatically, or girls are automatically more inclined to like a dude who is more laid back, chill, and, you know, cares about themselves, and, you know, the kind of the frat boy image, the backwards hat, that kind of shit. Now, I'm not saying I ever got to like that point, but there's nothing wrong with that point or with that view. I mean, if that's you, that's fucking you, but that is not who I am. I kind of started to try to act like that, and that was fucking terrible. That was probably the worst shit. That was probably the worst decision that I've ever made in my fucking life, and I never plan on doing that again. And I have to realize that if you don't want me for who I am, I don't want to say that's your loss, because if you're not compatible, you're not compatible. So I don't want to use that word, but, you know, well, fuck. I mean, we're not compatible. You're fucking beautiful. I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say you are attractive as shit, but if we're not for each other, then we're not for each other. So I had to understand that, and I had to come to that realization, and it took me to get back home to make that realization, which kind of fucking sucked, because I kind of feel like I wasted a certain amount of my first semester, not necessarily being depressed, but, like, you know, trying to be someone I'm not, because I felt like being myself didn't work. But I talked to my dad one night, and it was like 2 a.m, and I always have these, you know, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. thoughts of just absolute clarity. And I texted my dad, and I was like, why does it feel as if me being myself doesn't work? It almost makes me feel inclined to not be myself. And I always felt as if I was doing something wrong. And he explained to me, he said, Brandon, just because you are getting rejected, just because the girl doesn't like you back, doesn't mean that you are doing anything wrong. It just means that they are looking for something different that you do not have. If you cannot fill that requirement, or fill that whatever you want to call it for them, well then, I mean, they're not for you. And you kind of just have to come to that expectation and realization pretty early in your life. And I'm glad that it came at 19. Now, I'm not going to fucking lie. Everyone gets discouraged. When that shit happens, again, I'm probably going to get fucking discouraged, but I don't think it's going to take me that long. And one of the also biggest problems that I've noticed about college, I'm going to take a sip really fast. I got really jealous. of the people that seemed as if they could get with anybody. Because I was like, fuck. It was almost envy. I wouldn't want to say jealousy, but it was more envy. I think they're synonymous, but I mean, yeah, I got very jealous, and I started to dislike people for that sole reason. And that's not good, bro. I mean, there are certain people, if you can do something, I shouldn't hate you for being able to do it. That's just something that I can't do. That's something that you could do. I mean, this is fucking me being fucking honest. This is me being truthful. If I were to lie, where in any sort of value would that be for the viewers, for myself, for just anyone in general? I think a lot of people have this fucking problem, and I think that if I were to speak about it, a lot of people would appreciate it solely because another person is verbally saying it and they feel more comforting or comfortable because other people are going through the same shit that they are. So that's kind of the reason why I like to do these podcasts anyways, because I mean, even if you don't listen to it or the view count or the average view duration is low, for the people that make it to the end or just actually care enough to listen, I mean, do it for them. I also started doing shit for other people rather than myself. That was also fucking dangerous, but I mean, there's not really much to go into there. That's kind of, I mean, that's when you get into you're not being yourself, you're doing shit for other people, you're not doing that for them. So there's so many assumptions that you can make based off of that, but I mean, that's the most important part. 50 minutes of absolute chatting my fucking ass off. But the one thing that I noticed about college that really fucking bothered me so much and was what killed me was I was talking to my friend Taylor about this. I love Taylor. I was talking to her last night at like 3 in the fucking morning because I explained absolute evil, not evil 3, I'm just joking around, but I have crazy 3 a.m. thoughts. I called her and I was like, I was scared. I was scared for my future. Not scared for my future, but I was just like, what happens if I get discouraged again and I'm not capable of getting myself out of it? And what I realized is the reason why it was so difficult for me to get out of that aura, whatever you want to call it, that me trying to be someone else, was because I felt as if I didn't have a strong enough backbone to rely on to push me back to reality, as in I didn't have enough close friends at UD that could be like, yo, are you good? That kind of shit. Like, I've made a lot of acquaintances, a lot of friends, a lot of people that I would claim as friends, but not a lot of people that I would genuinely invite to my dorm to play Madden with, sit, have a conversation with, that kind of shit. And I think that is really important for me because also, I didn't even text. I don't know what happened, but when I got to UD, I stopped texting all of my really close friends, and I started to just kind of surround myself only with UD people. And I didn't text a lot. Like, I didn't text Kendall that much. I didn't text my other friends that much. I don't really know why. I just felt as if when I got to UD, I just wanted a break from my other life. But that's not smart. You need to keep that balance. You need to keep that because that reminds you who you are. If I texted Kendall every night and he was like, yo, are you good? And he was just, us being friends together and he could put shit into perspective for me and that kind of shit. I could text Anthony every night, other close friends. If I did that, I probably would have been so much better. But for some reason, I didn't do that. So if there's one thing that you could take out of this, don't rely solely on the people that are around. Even if they're an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours down the road, you can still learn so much from them. You can still have a conversation with them and they still know who you are. Your problems there are still your problems at home. It's just, they don't know about them. Bring it up to them. I mean, they're your fucking friends for a reason. They'll be able to help you. So that's one thing that I need to do, as well as I need to put myself in situations to make closer friends, because when you are so afraid, or when you're this outgoing person, whatever you want to fucking call myself, it is kind of hard for me to make close friends because everyone feels as if they already know who I am, when everyone has personal fucking lives, but people feel as if they know my personal life so much because I create these podcasts. I fucking pour my entire goddamn life and heart out into these, but I mean, there's still so much goddamn more that I can teach people, talk to people about, and I just think that that's really important. Don't be afraid to talk to me, girl. But yeah, I mean, I need to put myself in more situations to do that is the most important thing. So put myself in more situations to be closer friends with people that I want to be closer friends with. So if I see a cool group of people, make an attempt to hang out with them. That's also what the fuck I wanted to talk about. Let's go. Glad that we brought this up. I noticed while I was at college as well is that friendships are a two-way street. I never noticed that. I seriously never noticed that until college. If you don't put effort into a friendship, the other person more than likely is not going to put effort into the friendship. And I remember seeing people put on their story all the time, oh, if you don't text first, I ain't gonna text you. Bro, who fucking cares who texts first, bro? It doesn't matter. Stop caring so much about that shit. If you care about the person, you want to say something to them, fucking say some shit to them, bro. If you love them, tell them you love them. If you want to see them, yo, you want to go to the fucking grottos tonight? Hell yeah, we're going to grottos tonight. Oh, you got to study? Oh, okay, that's fine. Talk to me whenever. Stop caring so much about what other people fucking think. Like, I noticed that other people were saying shit while I was at college, and, you know, people were doing stuff, and they say, yo, why is he doing that, bro? Dude's a fucking pussy. Dude's a weirdo. And I'm just like, dog, come on. This is why people are afraid. This is why people are afraid to be themselves, is exactly people that do that shit. Like, fear-monger people into doing shit. It's just like, I mean, it works. It definitely does work, but, like, if that's who someone is, bro, let them be them, dude. I don't know. I'm going to try and stop surrounding myself with negativity and judgmental people. I don't know. Judgmental people, just because you're judgmental doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person. It's just like, that's automatically something that just scares me, in all honesty. Because if you're judgmental towards other people around me, what do I know? You're saying the exact same shit when I'm not around. But, like, I shouldn't be thinking about that, because then at that point you're overthinking. And the one thing, I've said this multiple times, the one thing that I've noticed in my life is I'm not really afraid about what I can't control. I'm afraid about what I can control, because if something happens, it's my fault. That shit scares me. That shit's fucking terrifying to me, because it's like, well, that's the whole girl thing. It's fucking 2022. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I don't give a fuck. If I'm ugly and you don't want me, cool. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm an ugly person and that's the reason you don't want me, that's something that I can't control. You know what I mean? So I can't be mad at that. You think I'm ugly, therefore that's why you don't want me, and I can completely fucking understand that. I can't control that, bro. I'm just fucking ugly. But when I look at myself in the mirror, I genuinely think that I'm an attractive human being. I'm not hot. I'm not ugly, but I look at myself and I'm like, I'm a solid looking human being. So there's something else. There's another reason that creates this not want for you, and that's the shit that fucking terrifies me. So that's why I ended up, trying to be another person, or being someone that I'm not, in order to attempt to get. That's so, I don't even want to say that's embarrassing. I mean, I feel like that's just life. I feel a lot of guys do that, in all honesty. So that's something that I'm 1000% okay admitting to. Not even gonna lie, I'm not afraid to admit that whatsoever. I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do? You know what I mean? I'm talking my shit. It's my damn podcast. Fuck you. It's like, no. God damn, that shit is good. Water sometimes hits. But is there anything else that I would like to add? Wanna. I've been saying push and pee a lot. And it's funny as fuck, because no one knows what it actually means, but I've created the assumption. I think P is playa. So when people say keeping it P, that's keeping it playa. Keep going P, that's, what's up P, what's up playa. But when it comes to pushing P, I think that's pushing pounds. So that's like pushing drugs. I don't fucking know. That's my assumption. That's a good song. When that song came on, I was fucking turning up. I like Poochie Gown too. I can't fuck with Freddie Gibbs. That shit is funny. That makes me laugh every single time I listen to that. Other than that, we have number 4 is Mop, bro. It is not a true Gunna album without a few absolutely drunk lines. I love when Gunna says some dumb shit in his music, like in Nothing for Free, climax of the song. I've said this multiple times before. I was a bitch alone. I pull out my dick and I piss on her. Like, I love that, bro. Because it's just fucking random. Like, why do you feel... I don't care whether or not that's what you like, but why do you feel the need to say that in a song? That's why I love it. He doesn't give a fuck what he says. That's so cool. I want to do that. That's kind of what I'm doing. So that's why I applaud it. You know what I mean? Like, you do you, bro. So, along with that, there was he said... Young Thug, and then Gunna said this because it was in the chorus. It was, I nutted all over her face, and now she looked like a cow. That is a fucking bar. That is insane. That's a cool ass line. I like that. There was another one that stuck out to me. It was in Pushin' P. He said, or Gunna said, not Gunna. Future said, she not a lesbian for P. She turned pesbian. Golden Future line. King asshole right there. As in, you know, the trio of asshole lines. The I'm gonna put my thumb in her butt. I crushed up an X pill in her asshole. And then I said this all on the Alexis podcast. So if you listen to that, you already know this. But what's the other one? I put my thumb in her butt for my legacy. Fucking love that shit. Keep going, bro. But then there was one more, and it was Young Thug said, I just fucked a cup of water. Bro is different. Bro is different. That is a different line. And I just want to say, I wish I was in the position to do that shit, because that is so funny to me. Like, I want to be such a big artist to the point where I just say dumb shit and people are like, yo, that's fire. Or what the hell is he saying? That's kind of fire though. That's how I feel about BABYTRONN. And I'm surprised it took me an hour and 3 minutes to start talking about BABYTRONN. I'm going to try and limit this to an extra 5 minutes, because I do want to stop around somewhere soon, because this is a very personal episode. And then after that, it's going to continue being personal. It's the fucking Brandon Alper experience. But BABYTRONN, on the other hand, I am in love with fucking BABYTRONN. I know I was hating on him a little bit. I was calling him trash. I take back everything I said. I apologize. Every fucking word that I have ever said negative about BABYTRONN, I'm like, yo, he's actually shit, but for some reason I like him. No, I wholeheartedly believe that he is a good artist, and I actually do mean that. When I listen to his music, I see myself if I were a rapper. And I think that's why I enjoy him so much, is because he just does dumb shit and he does not care. Every single one of his lines is an Instagram caption. And, like, it's fucking hilarious. Like, Frankenstein. Ben Reaper 2, I'm just going to say this. Ben Reaper 2 was the 8th best rap album of the year, according to Rolling Stone. It was better than Certified Lover Boy, Donda, Punk, Slime Language 2, and The Off Season by J. Cole. They said a BABYTRONN album was better than J. Cole. And I gotta agree. I'm not gonna lie. I don't fucking listen to The Off Season, but you know what I do listen to every day of my life? Ben Reaper 2. It settles that right there. BABYTRONN over fucking J. Cole. Argue with me. I ain't gonna listen. Fuck you. But other than that, Ben Reaper 2 is incredible because of the samples. We've got Pink Runts. I love that song because of the 80s sample. And he just goes crazy on that song. It's an upbeat song the entire time. And usually the white runs, but right now I'm blowing pink. Like, that shit is so funny to me because he says some other dumb shit in the line that just makes me like chuckle every single time I listen to it. But the opening track on that album, the fucking Harry Potter beat is golden. It is hilarious. Me and gang flying around with sticks like we playing Quidditch. Bro, that's the first line you're out. That is hilarious. That is insane. Who does that? First of all, who does a Harry Potter beat? Second of all, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, who fucking does that? That's one of my favorite songs of the year. I don't give a fuck what anyone says about that as well. But the one song that's blown up on TikTok with him and I Swear Vezo, oh my god, I love that song. It's called Intro. It's when I'm in the whip, I'm pushing buttons. Ain't no keys cranking me. Yo, bitch, her friend, we three-way. I've never listened to a Babytron song where another artist has out-rapped him. Every single song that he's on, he makes sure that his presence is fucking known on it. And I am absolutely in love with that. And that's, I mean, you want to outshine the other artists. I mean, you don't want to outshine the other artists, but that's kind of your goal. Like, you don't want someone to make you their bitch on a song. And I've just noticed that Babytron always fucking outplays anyone who's on a song with him. Just by his cadence, the way that he raps, the way that he sounds, the shit that he says, it's just, you could tell that he's just a memester, a jokester, and that's why, in my opinion, I love him so much. Frankenstein, walk hard, got me walking, hey, walk hard, got me walking around like a Frankenstein. That shit is funny as fuck. Like, every time I listen to that, I do the little two-step, I'm like, shit, I love it. What other songs are there on that? I mean, I could literally create an entire Babytron fan page, and I would feel absolutely zero shame. He said that he's going on tour pretty soon, and I definitely want to see him. I'm a very big Babytron fan, and if people start booing him or some shit, bro, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be turning the fuck up to whatever song he has on. I can tell you that. Good artist. I'm serious. If there's one artist that I could genuinely recommend to anybody, I like these weird fucking rappers, dude. I'm literally wearing a Vamp shirt right now. I'm wearing a fucking Vamp shirt right now. Babytron and Playboi Carti. Throw them on the same song together. I feel like that would be fire. Am I lying? What I do actually want to hear, in all seriousness, I'm not gonna lie, I want to hear a Babytron and Gunna song. Because the way that Gunna just slides on an album, like slides over a song, I feel like Babytron and him could make a very good sounding song. But I don't know what the beat would sound like, in all honesty. Because I don't think Babytron would fit on a Gunna beat. But I also want to hear what Gunna would sound like on a Flint, Michigan beat. That would just be fucking weird. I don't know. That's a collab that I want to hear. I want to hear it soon. I hope Babytron blows up as much as he does. Yeat as well. I like Yeat. I haven't been listening. Oh my god. Hold on. I gotta check because I might go into another 5-minute conversation, and then I swear I'm done. I'm done. Yep, I figured that would happen. All right, camera's dead. Just found out, but I'm gonna try and finish this pretty soon, so you don't have to watch with no video. Even though it doesn't really fucking matter, you're probably just gonna listen to this regardless. But the one thing that I've noticed about Yeat is Yeat's an interesting sounding character. I don't want to say he doesn't sound like anybody because you could definitely hear the Playboi Carti influence, but at the same time, he has his own sound to him. I don't know if that's what San Diego rap sounds like. I don't listen to Summers. I don't listen to Can. Like, I obviously know those names, but I've never listened to a single song from them. So I don't know whether or not Yeat got that sound from them or whether or not they got that. I don't even know. I just know they'd fit in the same category. But I love Sorry About That. I really like You Could Tell and Get Busy. I mean, obviously those are his biggest songs, but I'm a big fan of him because it just seems like he's doing his own thing and he sounds funny. He says some dumb shit in his songs. So, I mean, anyone who says dumb shit, you automatically got my vote, bro. If you're willing to say stupid shit in a song and just not care about what anyone says, bro, props to you. Keep doing you, bro. I truly mean that shit. Other than that, TwistyP. I'm going to have a tiny little section on TwistyP. I'm worried for the dude, bro. Guy was an NBA prospect, not NBA prospect, MLB prospect, NFL prospect, and then the dude just seems as if he threw his life away, bro. Guy's got a face tattoo now, starting beef with all these underground rappers and making diss tracks and whatnot. Those diss tracks were funny as shit. I am not gonna lie, but I don't know if that's the way that you want to get clout, but I shouldn't judge. If that's the way that you want to go, that's the way that you want to go. The reason I bring him up is because obviously he falls in that category, and people call him Evil Yeat. That shit is so funny. Every single time I see someone call him Evil Yeat, I have to like the comment because it's too funny for me not to. But then I feel like at the same time, you're giving him the clout that he wants, and I feel like that's dangerous for a guy like that, bro. You can clearly tell that he's not okay. Where the problem at? I'm spinning on these perks like I'm a laundromat. I hope he's alright, bro. I hope he gets the help he needs. I mean that. Unless he doesn't need help, but I truly do believe that he does. TwistyP, you got my vote, man. I hope you're alright, bro. Be safe, man. However, I do believe that this will conclude whichever episode of the Brandon Alper Experience this is, and I just want to say that I'm really glad to be back. I am. I'm glad that I'm actually going out of my way. I wouldn't even say it's going out of my way. I'm just glad that I'm fucking doing this shit again. And I'm doing it for myself because I'm enjoying this, dude. I just had a fucking hour and 12 long minute conversation with myself. That's fucking insane. With no stops. I mean, obviously I fucking stopped, but like no stop? That's insane. That's props, dude. That's props, bro. That is props to myself. Holy fucking shit. I'm definitely going to do this more often. I'm glad because I didn't even write anything down too. I mean, obviously I wrote down my my goals for myself, but that was just something that I knew I wanted to talk about. I didn't write down any topics. I just knew that I would float conversation into conversation, and I could do that with another person. It's cool that I could do that with myself. But I love you guys. I don't know how often I'm going to do these by myself. I'm more than likely going to do these by myself unless I find a, whatever the word would be, unless I find a guest that is actually, you know, worthy of me podcasting. I'm not going to just do a podcast with anyone anymore. That sounds disrespectful, but like, I don't mean it like that. I just mean it as, you got to give me value. I mean, most of the people that I've done one with have given me all value, but I just mean that as in, I mean, if I'm in a mood to really talk about shit by myself and I don't want another person's input and I want to completely steer the conversation, I want it to just be myself then. I'm serious. And then, I mean, if I want another person though, and then I'll have another person on. But now that I know that I can do this by myself, I don't know. I kind of want to have it Theo Von type shit, you know? But this will conclude episode something of the Brandon Alper Experience. I love you guys. I really do. Give me love. Show me love. I really appreciate attention. I love attention. I don't want to rely so much on views, but if there's any chance that if you're listening and there's something that I say that you resonate to or you really do think is meaningful, please tell me. Because that really does mean a lot that people actually pay attention to these. Whether or not people actually do isn't the point. It's just like, I'm doing this for myself now, but I genuinely do want to know whether or not people actually feel some sort of way when they listen to this. But now I will finish it. Thank you. I love you guys. Peace out. Bye-bye.